Welcome. This is Hardcore Minecraft. I started by cutting down a tree, mining cobblestone, making a stone pickaxe, and mining more cobblestone. I grabbed my crafting table and went to kill the iron golem. After killing the iron golem, I made a shield and a pickaxe. I robbed this farmer for his crops and decided to go exploring for the perfect base location. Whilst ice boating, I had a brawl with the polar bear. Later, I found a massive cave and got to mining. Then, I smelted some of the ores I found and got back to mining. Then, I made some iron armor. Whilst trying to go to the surface, I got attacked by a bunch of spiders. Get out! Fuck hell, man. Then I found a village and I started to prepare to build my base. So, I started building the villager breeder. Now, it would be automatic straight away. It was buggy at the start, so I couldn't really figure it out, and then eventually I did, which is fine. I had to do like a lot of hoeing here as well, because like I kept jumping and placing a bunch of stuff, and then I started to mine all of the wood and replace it with oak planks, because I do kind of want the logs. But you know, and I think I did like multiple times wrong, because actually there should be like some beds instead of where I've placed the farmland right now. So let's see, I don't know, yeah, I needed fences here as well, so I started making some fences. And I don't know why I've made a crafting table here, but I made some fences and then I put it around the thing to keep the villagers inside, and then continue to build it, adding a fence gate, and then I started building the bit where the baby villagers would fall into, which is really nice, really nice. But I need to expand the area, so I'll do that later. Then I started to get villagers. I brought them over, tried to lure them in with the beds, but you know, that worked surprisingly okay, because they wanted the beds over here. That was good. So this part, you have to put like 3 beds, so you see on each block, so there should be at least 1 block in the middle, and then another bed, which I had to get later. And then after that, I made some more fences, because I didn't have enough. And you have to put all the fences around the thing, and then once you're done with that, you can put 2 villagers inside. One has to be a farmer, and then that's kind of it. They just breed. They'll automatically breed. On the next day, I wanted to make an egg farm, so I made a bunch of chests, and then I made some hoppers after this. And now, I started building. After building the chicken farm, I went to go replant some crops from the villager breeder. Next, I went to the nearby field and I killed some animals to get some food. Then I found a spider spawner, which had a few pieces of loot, such as discs and other rotten flesh and a bunch of just random stuff. So I just broke it, and then I started to go out, and this spider was following me. So yeah. Once I got home, I tried to get chicken, but unfortunately I didn't. So instead, I deposited all my loot into the chest. And then, you know, I was pretty interested whether my villagers have actually, like, produced any little kids. So, you know, the idea was that I was going to start walking over there. So eventually, I did start walking over after falling asleep. And I was thinking, you know, maybe I need to break those beds, those 3 at the back with the blue, where the villagers sleep. So we'll see. And there's only one little measly villager, which actually later on he becomes a Fletcher, which actually is really important, because you know those arrows are really important for, like, you know, raids. You know, maybe I might have done a raid. Maybe next episode, you know, you might see a raid. Just saying, you know, you might. Not gonna tell you. You might need to hold your horses and wait. But anyways, guys, have a good one. Peace out, and see you in the next episode.